Yeah, I suppose first and foremost, a lot of positives come out of the game. A lot of firsts. Obviously, with the celebration of Niall's 200 caps, we had two new cappers and Dan and Bart, and obviously first captaincy for Craig Casey as well. Obviously, to win away from home, the only team to do that over the weekend, and take a bonus point as well with it was very pleasing. Probably work ons for ourselves. We just our discipline. We gave away 14 penalties, which is not good enough if we are expected to go on and win bigger games as the year goes on. And I suppose just a little bit of game management. I suppose we focused on particularly around that 60-minute mark where we let them back into the game for 5 or 10 minutes. But I thought we closed the game out really well and really pleasing result and a good start to the season. Certainly not from in-house. It hasn't gone unnoticed anyway. We know how dangerous Cardiff are. They put us away last year, so they're coming to Thomond Park full of confidence. Yes, they've lost Matt, but you can see the imprint he's had on the team, and I suppose what he'll bring to Wales. But Cardiff are a very, very dangerous outfit. Really comfortable in attack, really comfortable with ball in hand, and I suppose another layer that they've added is their attacking kicking game as well. So from a defensive point of view, we've done a lot of work during the week, and we're on our full guard in relation to how dangerous we know this team is. Yeah, my role has grown this year. Obviously, last year I was skills coach with the responsibility, obviously, of making sure I'm delivering what Mike and Liam's want from both sides of the ball. This year, I've taken over exits and our kicking game, and obviously and our sorry and our scrum strikes as well from an attack point of view. So working both sides of the ball. Really, really interesting from the exit point of view in relation to what I'm learning from teams in relation to how they set up defensively. So for me, that will make me a better attack coach going forward. But really enjoying the role, really enjoying the different aspects that I've been asked to focus on. So had a really, really enjoyable preseason under Clayton, and really looking forward to the rest of the season. Yeah, Craig will never change. He is what he is. He's an energizer bunny. He's the life and soul of the group. Massive honour for him during the summer, but something that he would have ran anyway. So obviously, with a lot of experience leaving the building over the summer, and some people that you can never replace, there's a lot of guys that have taken that opportunity and seen it as an opportunity as opposed to a burden. And Craig is probably one of those guys that has stepped up and is leading us forward. From a rugby point of view, there hasn't been much change. I mean, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. I think the biggest thing with Clayton, he just exudes experience. Obviously, with the Chiefs for the last number of years, he's been to the bitter end of the season. He knows exactly what he wants as a head coach, and he knows how to go about it. I suppose the biggest example of that has been how we've ran our preseason and the shape that our players are in. Obviously, it had been an aspect that we wanted to get fitter and stronger, and I think we achieved that during preseason. You could even see it in our players' stature the weekend and how we started the game. We were physical both sides of the ball, and I suppose it just highlights how important our preseason was, but the changes he made to the preseason and how he got that out of the players.
Yeah, look, it was great. It was a long time coming. I think it was 30 weeks since my last game playing for the Ireland Days over in England, and just to get out there and play a competitive game and get 80 minutes under the belt was huge for me, and I felt really good out there as well. So it was a great start for me. Yeah, look, we couldn't have asked for much more. I think we were the only team to get a win away from home, and to also come away with the bonus point was huge. Not something we had targeted going into the game. It was just about getting a result and putting all the work we've put in the preseason into the game. And I think a lot of that came through. Our physicality was really good. Something we spoke about. Our set piece was really good. Something we put a huge emphasis on. So a lot of the stuff we worked on came through, and it was positive. But obviously, there's stuff to work on for next week as well. From like a style perspective, it hasn't changed too much because obviously Mike is still running the attack. So hasn't changed too much, but we've added a couple of layers for our wingers and kind of back three players to get a bit more involved when the game slows down, and different ways that we can show up and get more touches on the ball and hopefully create opportunities for other players as well. Yeah, look, it was the hardest I've ever had to train in pre-season. It was unbelievably tough. Brad coming over from New Zealand had some new ideas and had us doing things like boxing and swimming and hill running, things that are completely different stimulus. So you might think you're as fit as can be, but when you're put into a pool, that's a completely different environment. So we were being challenged mentally as much as physically, and I think hopefully that will show throughout the season. We definitely had a look at our game against them last year, and we definitely didn't fire in a couple of areas last year. So hoping to improve in that performance. But having a look at their performance against the Lions last week as well, we've learned a lot from that, and they played some really good rugby. So it's going to be a challenge for us, especially in defence. They kind of move the ball really well, and they've good movement in their shapes and stuff. So they're a tough team to play against. So we're looking forward to the challenge on the weekend.